cinema community, we heard our local cinema Mark just got done seeing Beetlejuice, and XD. This is our extended review. Rebecca, what'd you think?
I like Tim when he's serious and when he has a streamlined plot line. Too much going on with this movie. There's literally one character. If you remove them, you could still have the entire movie and still have the emotional impact. Tim's talked a lot about he couldn't have made this movie back in the time period that it was originally made. There's definitely an emotional arc with these characters, and I was really happy to see it tackled. There's some creative problem solving if you know some of the stuff behind the scenes, so definitely keep an eye out for that. They are doing this on purpose.
Like Rebecca said, in the movie Amadeus, one of the lines we love is, too many notes.
The work is ingenious. It's quality work. And there are simply too many notes. That's all. Just cut a few and it'll be perfect.
This movie had too many notes. Honestly, it was one of those things where I appreciated that they actually had a plot.
I need you to help me save my daughter.
And second plot.
Recognize this post. Never seen that chick before in my life or afterlife.
Pretty soon I'm going 1, 2, 3.
Beetlejuice!
A lot of plots, a lot of things happening. Characters could be gone and it still would tell the same story. I would have liked fewer storylines and more in depth with the characters.
Somebody on our team kind of mentioned that the characters almost feel like caricatures of themselves. Yeah, I hate to say it, I kind of agree with our team member. It feels a little bit like a parody of Beetlejuice in some ways.
I'm needed upstairs. Bob, hold down the fort.
That being said, I get why Tim was trying to do some of that. The characters are a little bit frozen in time in their last crucial moment. Jenna, she plays a newer character to the franchise, so I can kind of forgive her for being stuck, especially because it relates to her emotional journey. The same thing with Winona's Lydia. Sure, there is an in-story explanation, but I would like to see a little bit more growth, especially because the emotional crux of the story involves them reverting back to themselves, at least a younger version of themselves.
I think this movie, if you did not see the original Beetlejuice, I think you'd be lost.
When I was a teenager, a trickster demon terrorized our entire family and tried to force me to marry him.
You might catch some of the things, but it just wouldn't be as impactful. One of our team members was saying the jokes were funny.
Death is hard.
Yeah, sometimes I think life is harder.
But they rely too much on the past. And if you don't know the punchline, you don't know the joke, you're probably gonna be lost at different points.
Danny Elfman shows up, but the soundtrack isn't blow your mind amazing. He's there, you know it's him, and he knows his bag of tricks and is willing to play with it.
There's a lot of familiar people that you're gonna recognize from the casting, solid cast, but also some of the people that worked on the original Beetlejuice. That being said, it felt very similar to the movie, even though it was trying to be different, and I just kind of felt like, gosh, is it one movie? Is it two movies? Is it one movie that should just be a little bit longer?
We're never gonna get Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian, but I'm glad that we got a story where people are talking about emotions. One of the hallmarks of the Beetlejuice franchise is dealing with your emotional journey. So I do appreciate the attempt. Unfortunately, there's just too much going on.
Can they coexist?
And it just didn't land for me as well as the original.
I was sad to say the movie dragged on a little bit too long for me. Maybe a tighter edit, maybe a little bit more passion. There were parts of it that were funny and cute.
She definitely saw me that last time. I felt a little tingle.
One-liners, the movie would start to taper down, and then all of a sudden it would jump back up again.
The juice is loose.
But it felt very uneven, and it wasn't as if I was laughing through the whole thing or I was engaged in the whole thing. That being said, this movie is highly anticipated. It sold out, multiple screenings. People want to see this movie. Rebecca, what do you think? Is it worth a watch?
I think if you want to see the newer Tim Burton interpret one of his most classic works through the lens of having matured some, yeah, sure, it's worth a watch. But just be prepared. In some ways, it just feels like he's retracing over the same ground.
I think it's worth a watch if you know the franchise and you're excited. Those are probably going to be the people that love it the most. I think for other people, it may be wait for it to go on streaming. You can do a little bit of background information before you see it, or even skip it. There are some other good movies out there. Might make you laugh a little bit more, might be a little bit more invested.
Or just pop on the original again. This has been our extended review. We want to hear from you in the comments. What's your favorite Tim Burton movie? I know there's some Dark Shadows fans out there. Come on, drop the name in the comments. If you want to check out some of our other extended reviews though, click the link to the right.